can't really take credit for this because it wasn't my idea at all, but the module that I teach on, sort of in terms of leading in the PG CAP, is actually around research management, but it's part of a whole suite of modules which are just called negotiated study modules. And they're very, very flexible. So they allow people to choose an assessment mode. They can do whatever form of assessment they like. Basically, that's negotiated at the beginning of the course with everyone there. And it's normally, we kind of have a guide, which is, for a module of this size, we'd expect it to be around 2,500 words if you're writing. But you don't have to write, you can do something else. So that brings you into the whole sticky area of what is the equivalent of 2,500 words. And we haven't got any definitive answers to that. Again, we have guidelines about how long a video you might produce if you wanted to get something equivalent. I had someone last year doing this module who produced a game as her assignment. This is a master's level module, and she had a game, a sort of board game, a bit like Snakes and Ladders, but about doing user-led research actually with groups, external groups. And it was very good, and it did have some written elements, but it was very much based on a different model, and one that she engaged with. And that's been really nice to see. And other people have done videos and sort of podcasts for people, I think, who are less confident in the written form. And again, the research that we've done and other people have done does suggest that one of the differences between male and female students may be actually writing ability, but also with our ethnic minority groups here. English language, I mean, this can work both ways. So I've had students who are much better verbally than they are in writing, but also vice versa. So people who actually can write perfectly good English, but you know, it's quite difficult to understand when they're speaking. So, but I think having the element of choice almost inherently makes it much more inclusive, because people can then play to their strengths. And if everyone agrees at the beginning that that's a fair comparison, actually still a lot of people will choose to write a traditional 2,500 word assignment because that's what they're used to and that's what they'll find straightforward. But we've never had anyone turning around and saying they shouldn't be allowed to do that because that's not fair, that's not an equivalent, because it's all agreed at the beginning. So that, I think, is really good inclusive practice, and it obviously means that we don't then have to make adjustments because it's already built into the system, which I think is quite helpful.